Morning, y'all. It is Monday. We are just a few days away from the half marathon. It's going to be my second half marathon I've ever done. We're in a tapering week this week, so the volume's going to decrease a little bit for recovery reasons, so that I can go into the half marathon fully recovered, legs feeling good. I feel all right now, but the past couple of days we really cranked up the volume. Saturday I had like 44 or 45,000 steps done before the end of the day, and that's not really like, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not like a big part of the training, my steps. It's just me trying to get higher and higher numbers of total movement being on my feet for the day, because I have some races coming up next year that I'm in the middle of training for, and they are going to be big, and I'm going to need to be on my feet and moving for a lot of hours. The 50-mile one that I have coming up, that's going to be something that I need to be moving for like 8 hours, maybe more. So Saturday I did 45,000 steps total. Almost all of it was with my 35-pound vest on, because we're trying to work on leg strength as well. Yesterday, when I was done, I had about 53,000 steps for the day, and it said that I had 21.7 miles of movement in total. It may have been more than that, actually. It might have been like 22 or 23 miles of movement in total. And typically I'd be running right now, but I'm trying to do this a little smarter for this race. As soon as I'm done with the race, we're cranking training up to a 10, because like I said before, I got big plans for next year. Next year is going to be way less 5 and 10Ks, and it's going to be more marathon, half marathon, 50-mile, ultra, that kind of stuff. We're looking to try and complete the Big Ass Metal series by Coastal Racing Productions. They have a series of races that they do every year, where each one of them you get a giant medal. It's literally referred to as a big ass medal. It's like, I think one of them that I'd like to get, but it's going to be a long one. That one's 2,600 miles in total. You can do it with a team and all kinds of stuff, but I'll get into more of that in a different video. That one is 14 inches across. So when you have, and I believe it's 2 halves of the US, so it's like 1,300 completed and then 1,300 completed, the distance from coast to coast. But when you finish it, 14-inch medal that you get to wear. So I'm striving for bigger this next year. Now I'm still gonna squeeze in a 5K or a 10K here and there, I'm already signed up for Around the Crown, which is the 10K that I do in September on Labor Day weekend. I've done it the past 2 years. So we're already signed up for that. We're going to look for Lake Hinson again. Hinson Lake Ultra Classic Marathon. That's the 24-hour one that I did a couple weeks ago. So we're going to look forward to that as well. But there's a few of them that are all like doing races on the coast of the Carolinas that have some pretty cool bling that you can get. I'm more interested in some of the shirts that they have are really cool, but the medals, I have like 25 or it's probably around 25 medals at this point. And I want to, rather than just keep collecting 5K and 10K medals, they're accomplishments, don't get me wrong, like that's how I started, but I'm looking for bigger distance. Less medals so much, but bigger accomplishments, bigger goals. So that's going to be the next year coming up. I kind of try and plan ahead of time. The past 2 years, it was, excuse me, the past 2 years, I've been trying to do at least one race per month for the year, and I've done so. I've actually overachieved quite a bit. And it wasn't even for the medal hunt so much. It was just wanting to be able to say that I did, you know, at least one race a month. Now there was months like September where I did 3 races this year. I did the Around the Crown. I did the Hinson Lake 24-hour classic and the Bimbo Global Energy 5K, all in September. So that was a big month. This month we're doing the half marathon on Saturday, and then we have the Running Scared 5K that I'm going to be doing with the wife. That one's a lot of fun because you get, I mean, you can wear whatever you want to any of these races. No one's gonna care. For the most part. Don't show up naked, because then people are gonna care, because there's kids and ain't nobody trying to see that. But the Running Scared one's a lot of fun because we get to wear our Halloween stuff. And you know, as much as I like racing, I like doing them with my wife as well. There's a few of them that I really like doing with her, like the Mother's Day one, the Father's Day one. If Teal Diva does another race this year, we'll probably also do that. We're big supporters of like making sure whatever race we're doing is also tied to a cause. So like Teal Diva, they support the fight for gynecological cancers and ovarian cancer. That's the huge one for them. Like all their funds pretty much are donated to research. And I'm a big pusher of that as well. My mother-in-law passed away from cancer of that form. She didn't have ovarian, but she had, it sounds, I hate saying the word, but gynecological. I don't know. Just has, what's the word I'm looking for? It can have, yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. We like to do races that are to support a cause. Like last year we did the Strides for Shelter, and I believe that was for homelessness. The one that I did for global energy, that one was to support the hungry. For everyone that signed up and every mile ran, they gave, I believe it was 2 slices of bread per mile, and I think they ended up with like 2 million this year, like 2 million slices of bread they gave out, which is basically trying to feed the hungry. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, it's all well and good knowing that I'm achieving these goals and everything like that, but if I can also tie a charity to it that I'm helping support, and I know my money's going towards something like that, then I'm all about it. But yeah, the next year is going to be big races. I have a 50 miler that I'm signing up for that's going to be at the end of January. I have probably going to do the craft beer half marathon again. That was a lot of fun. I did it with a few people I work with. Also planning on doing, there's one that's in, I believe it's July. It's like the hot pepper half marathon, or hot pepper, marathon, where the whole point of that one is every hour on the hour you do 2.5 mile lap, and that's it until the next hour. And it's an endurance race. I know most people that hear some things like this are also inclined to assume that something like that doesn't sound too bad. Like, you get a lot of rest between, each set of miles. No, it's endurance. Go run 2.5 miles and then come in and take a break, and then go out and run 2.5 miles, and do that 10 times. But you have to make sure you wait until the hour to go again. Now, on top of that, don't go inside where it's all cushy, because the other part of this is sitting outside and enduring 90, 95 degree heat the entire time. Now, maybe you'll understand how much of an endurance race it is. So, I'm looking forward to signing up for that as well. Because since I've lost the weight, everything that I am striving for is trying to test my body as much as I can. Pushing to the limit. Pushing to my breaking point. To get stronger. I've been hitting the gym a lot harder also recently. We started working on legs a lot, and that was something that I neglected for a while. Because I was more worrying about like vanity muscles until I got into running, and I should have been focusing on legs a lot more, but that's the past and besides the point. But we're working on that now, because that's also going to help with all this long distance endurance kind of stuff that I have coming up. Just need to see the time. Okay, so I still got a few minutes to talk more. So that's the plan coming up. Like I said, right now we're in tapering phase, so I'll probably go to the gym tonight and rock legs again, because I don't have any big running to do until Saturday, so I want to get my legs used to pushing some weight again. Typically when you're hitting something like new muscle wise in the gym, the first couple of sessions you have typically are going to leave you a little more sore than you may be used to when you hit stuff that you hit multiple times a week. Now, that's not to say that some of those other areas don't also get sore, because they can, especially if you're pushing and you're trying to get, stronger or lift more weight. But they don't hurt nearly as much like the DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, are not nearly as bad, at least personally speaking, as they are when you're hitting something that you haven't done in a while. And the first time hitting my legs again was, the next couple days were rough. I still went out and ran. Could not run nearly as much as I could before. Like, typically on a day, I do 6+ miles in the morning before I go to work. I wasn't doing 6+ miles the day after. 2 days after, it was really rough. The delay there was like, okay, so today sucks, but then 2 days after was just brutal. And there's still a little tiny bit sore, like my quads, I could feel they're a little sore, but excuse me, not nearly as bad as they were even yesterday. So we're gonna go hit those again tonight. Do my normal upper body work, but finish off with legs. Hit the same spots I did the other day that were really, caused a lot of soreness, just so that they can get used to building strength again. Because I'm thinking about it this way. When I was at my heaviest, my legs were easily the strongest part of my body, and I was walking around pushing 426 pounds of human around for 16 hours in a day. So they used to be pretty strong, but after I lost all the weight, I kind of waned away. And that's one thing I'll say, is I do wish that I lifted weights during my entire weight loss, because I would have a lot more muscle right now, for numerous reasons. Just because I had more overall body mass and calories really to put towards the muscle building. So if you're watching this and you're going through a weight loss thing, make sure you're going to the gym and doing some strength work, rather than getting down to the weight you want to be and not having any of that extra loose skin filled out. The other thing is, because I wasn't lifting weights during that entire time, a lot of my muscle was part of that weight loss. It wasn't all just body fat. Like, there was muscle along with it. And that's, directly my fault, because I wasn't lifting, but I was also undercutting my calories just to a detrimental extent. And that's the thing I'm struggling with right now, is you can lift weights and get, a decent build and be a runner at the same time. But the problem is you're not going to be the best at both. And I know that it's a little late for me in my age to really be the best at either one. Like, I started way too late in life, and I'm okay with that. Like, I've accepted that reality. If you're doing this stuff, make sure you're doing it young. Without the help of any extra additional drugs or anything like that, because that's a big thing that I see being pushed, and it's extremely unhealthy. If you're young and you're in your teens or 20s, you got a ton of potential still ahead of you. Like, your testosterone and stuff you're full of it at that age. And that's not to say, because I'm 40, I don't have any, but I mean, between 10 and 20, you're literally fucking dripping testosterone. Between 20 and 30, the same. After 30, it starts to die off, and you don't have nearly as much anymore. Like, each year it drops some. After 40, that's when it really starts to take a hit. And before I personally look into getting onto any kind of HRT or TRT, or even asking my doctor about it, I want to make sure that I hit my potential before I look at getting anything like that myself. The other struggle I have is I like putting on muscle, but damn do I love running. And that's my big struggle right now. So anyway, I gotta get ready for the day. So until the next one,